figure I would try my best to live stream me working on a t-shirt design for a client. So I can't really say what the t-shirt design is, but this is the gun part of it. It's an M60, something I drew from reference in Sketchbook Pro. So, and then I brought it over to Adobe Illustrator Draw. Now, usually, I'll take all my logos and anything that I need to turn into a vector, and I'll take it from Sketchbook Pro. I sketch everything in Sketchbook Pro, and then usually send it over to my desktop to do all the line work in Adobe Illustrator. But I tried this app out a while back, and I didn't really like it. I don't know why, but it didn't have good flow to it. I didn't like doing anything in it, so I never used it. But for whatever reason, I tried to use it on this project. I don't know why. Maybe I was just getting sick and tired of having to take the stuff off of my Sketchbook Pro on my phone, and then put it on my laptop, and then work on it from there in Illustrator. So, but whatever the reason prompted me to use the Adobe Illustrator Draw app, it's kind of grown on me and made things a little easier with this project. So I think I'm going to start using it in my workflow. I'm going to start taking it from Sketchbook Pro to this, and then send it over to my laptop to do any finishing touches, I guess, in Illustrator. But I want to try to do all my line art, all my inking in Adobe Illustrator Draw. I was having issues with it the last couple of days. There was an issue with the, and I contacted Adobe about it. I should probably get started here on the drawing instead of just talking. But there was an issue with the app, at least the Android version. I don't know about the Apple, the iOS version, because I have a Galaxy Note Galaxy Note 5. So I'm using the Android version, but there was an issue with the app where, for whatever reason, there's a feature here where you can send to Illustrator, send to Photoshop, copy to Image Gallery, copy image to Creative Cloud, publish to Behance. So every time I would try to send my vectors, my line art over to Illustrator, for whatever reason, it wouldn't read it. It said that the format was unknown and the plugin couldn't read it, even though basically I'm going from an Adobe software to another Adobe software. It seems kind of nonsensical. And I tried multiple things, like I tried starting new projects, because I figured, okay, maybe the file is just corrupt. But no, it was multiple projects. I couldn't get it to work to send to Illustrator, but for whatever reason, I could get it to work to send to Photoshop CC. So I contacted Adobe, and after about, I don't know, a couple hours or so, some other people had the same issue. One of their technicians was saying, okay, yeah, this is a known issue on the Android version. They're aware of it, and it should be patched, by tomorrow. And I will give them this, a lot of the time I don't believe when people say, oh yeah, the timeline, it's, we're aware of it, it's going to be fixed by so-and-so. I think it's just BS. But to Adobe's credit, I mean, it was fixed even earlier than they said. So, because they said end of day the next day, and it was fixed like the next day early in the morning. So it was patched, and the application was updated. So I mean, Adobe was on top of it. I have no complaints, and now the app works perfectly again. So I tested it out, and I sent a bunch of my line art over to Illustrator. And sure enough, Illustrator read it, was able to read the file, and what was I saying? Lost my train of thought. Illustrator was able to read the file, and all the vectors transferred over. So it was a live vector file that I could work on, and none of it was raster, because there's also, when you send it to copy to Creative Cloud, copy image to Creative Cloud, or send to Photoshop, obviously it sends it as a portable network graphic, which is a raster, which is useless. What's the point of me doing the line art in this if I can't get it, keep it vector? I might as well just import, do everything in Illustrator on my desktop, instead of doing this, I was really bummed out about it the other day. I'm like, oh, this could be perfect. Why isn't it working for me? But they fixed it, and it's working perfect now. So right now I'm just trying to I'm still trying to figure out the controls. It's kind of a bitch. But it's just because I feel like I'm new to it. The more I work in this program, I'm sure the easier it'll get. But coming from the Sketchbook Pro app, man, it's kind of a pain in the butt. But like I said, it's nice to be able to create vectors on here like this on the go sometimes if I have to mobily, and then when I'm all done with it, put it into port it over to my desktop to do any finishings like colors and stuff like that, or any other kind of arrangements. But I use Sketchbook Pro all the time. I always start everything I do in Sketchbook Pro. And going from that to this, they're similar, but there's a lot of differences. Like with Sketchbook Pro, I can pinch and rotate the entire canvas, the entire artboard easily. But with this, I have to go, where do I go? Let's see, settings, rotate canvas right there. Why can't I just pinch and rotate with my fingers? Why do I have to go over here to settings, rotate canvas 90 degrees? It just seems silly. But again, I'm already getting kind of used to it. And I know it kind of looks like I'm going a little slow here. That's because I'm losing my train of thought, trying to converse and do this at the same time. So, let's see here. Let's do that. See, I'm trying to do it again. I'm trying to pinch and rotate with my fingers, but it won't let me. I'm just not going to do that for when I'm live streaming here anyways. I'm just going to rotate the actual canvas like I would with a traditional media drawing, which is usually what I do, but I guess I got so spoiled and used to, oh, criminy. See? And used to Sketchbook Pro. Dude, I'm going to shit a brick. I'm going to do a lot of cleaning up, probably off camera, after this live stream. Basically, I'm just trying to get the basic shapes of my inking, so I can do some fills. Like, for instance, let's say, see what I mean? So basically the way this app works is it's not like a pen tool. It's all vector, but it's more like the blob brush in Illustrator. But you just have to make sure all the paths are closed, and if you touch and hold, it'll fill it for you. And if something's not closed, you'll know right away because it won't let you fill it, which is pretty good. I like that. That's actually a pretty cool feature. It's like just like an Illustrator. If the gap is too big, it will not let you fill something. There's a certain margin you have to be within to fill it. So, man, I keep wanting to pinch and rotate. It's pissing me off. I mean, this is probably only my second day using Illustrator, Adobe Draw. Man, I'm looking at the live feed. I might have to do some test streams off on the test server or something. because there's some artifacting going on here. Oh well. Anyway, so, but anyway, it's pretty cool. It's really, it's just, there's so many things. I'm so used to Sketchbook Pro. Like, for instance, Sketchbook Pro, you know, there's guides in this too, but it's just weird. Like, at first I couldn't even find them because they're listed as basic shapes. You know, like, for instance, this, basic shapes, and this is your guidelines. Which, I don't know, for whatever reason, I thought this just meant, okay, this is just going to create a circle or square, or almost like a stamp tool. I don't know why I retardedly thought that, but I did. But these would be your guides, which is coming in handy. But in Sketchbook Pro, I mean, you just go to guides, and it just feels more fluid in Sketchbook Pro. Everything feels more fluid. I wish Sketchbook Pro would come out with a vector drawing tool, because I would use it 100%. I mean, I love Adobe, but man, I do all my sketching and drawing and beginning works in Sketchbook Pro, and then from there I go to usually Illustrator or whatever other app I need to go to get it in. So I mean, that's a testament to well, I'll fix that later. It's a testament to you know, how easy Sketchbook Pro is to use, and you know how fluid it is. I mean, I use it all the time. Let's see here. And a lot of the time I've noticed in this app too, you know, not to pick on this app, I really like this app. It's definitely gonna help me with my workflow here, but a lot of the time, so there we go. A lot of the time, you'll go to pinch and zoom to zoom out, or zoom in, and it'll end up, because and I'm sure I could change it if I looked into it. I'm sure I could change it so it doesn't do that, but I guess I'm just lazy and I don't want to go into the preferences and change it to look to see how to change it. But when you pinch and zoom, there's a command when you do two fingers and swipe to the left or the right to undo and redo your actions, which sounds cool. It sounds really fluid, but most of the time when I end up zooming or unzooming, I end up undoing a fucking command, and it's just irritating as all hell. Let me see here. But slowly but surely, I'm getting the hang of this app. As of right now, though, I still 100% prefer Sketchbook Pro for sure. 100%. But obviously, you know, two different programs right there. You have, god damn it. You have, one is a raster-based program and the other is a vector. So obviously, I mean, you use them for different things. I can start off in Sketchbook Pro, you know, if I'm doing logos and stuff, but I mean, I can't end there. I have to take it somewhere where I can get a vector out of it, because I can't, when you're doing logos, I mean, you know, obviously you can't have a raster, because I mean, what if you need to blow that logo up huge? It needs to be a vector file, and unfortunately I can't do that in Sketchbook Pro, because Sketchbook Pro is not a vector program. So, you know, this is a pretty good solution to that problem. You know, just finish off my sketch in Sketchbook Pro, then just port it into Adobe Illustrator Draw, which admittedly for me is a bit of a higher learning curve. See, there's a lot of unrefined edges here, which I'm going to go back to later and clean up. Yeah, this is a nice app. I like it. It's a pain in my ass right now, but I really like it, and you know, the more I use it, better it'll become, easier it'll become. Because I remember when I started Sketchbook Pro, I started using that, and I was not too keen on it. I remember that app was pissing me off too. I obviously because I just started using it, I didn't have a real good hang of it. But I used it more and more and more and more and more and more, and I just got used to its little quirks and the using it efficiently. I'll have to do a sketch in there. There's actually an idea I have. I want to do a redraw, personal, of something I did that kind of like the first thing I ever did right when I started the graphic design program, where I went to school. I didn't know any. I mean, I've always drawn. I've always loved to draw, but I always did it in my off time. I never really considered making a career out of it. I just like to do it, and I still like to do it. But now I'm also trying to, make a career out of it. Anyway, point is, what was I talking about? I lost my train of thought. Oh, no, yeah. So when I started the program, my graphic design program, which I just recently graduated from, which I was totally stoked about, took me forever because I was a lazy bum. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought again. There we go. We don't need, but anyway, so I started the program and I did something. I kind of drew up a little, not even drew up, I wouldn't even say drew up. I took two pieces of clip art and mashed them together, and I was like, yeah, that's fucking beautiful. That's awesome. Good job. This is magnificent. I will never create anything better than this. And I'll have to post a picture, or I'll have to show a picture of it next time. But oh my god, literally, just imagine two crappy pieces of clip art mashed together, and then boom, that's it. Call it done. So anyway, I was looking back on that the other day, and I was looking at that, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I could do way better now. Maybe I should try to redo it. Just as a personal project. There's no point to it. I think I created it back in the day because I wanted to. Man, I don't even remember what year it was. It was like 5 or 6 years ago. Not that long ago, but a pretty long time. But I created it because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start selling t-shirts on Zazzle and Cafe Press. Oh yeah, it's gonna be so awesome. So I'm like, I need a super cool logo. I'll design this. And I took a phrase, or not a phrase, kind of like a business name from the Twilight Zone, because me and my wife are really into the Twilight Zone. We really like the Twilight Zone, and it's one of their more famous episodes, I suppose. The one with William Shatner, where they go to the him and his, man, I can't remember if it was fiance or what. They go to this small town, and they sit at the diner at the Busy Bee, right? And I was like, hey, I like that name. That's cool. And I like the Twilight Zone, so fuck it. I'm going to call my Zazzle store, my Zazzle Cafe Press store, the Busy Bee. Sounds great. Let's do it. So I mashed two pieces of clip art together and called it a fucking day. Man, it looks like crap. I can't believe I was so proud and so happy of it back in the day when it required little to no work to create. It wasn't original. It wasn't anything. It was just crap. It was boring crap. a lot of these lines don't have to be really that straight, because like I said, like, watch, we'll just, and because I'm just going to end up filling the shape anyways, and then going back with the eraser tool and cleaning stuff up. So it doesn't have to be too accurate. It doesn't matter anyways, because this isn't going to be the main focus of the t-shirt project anyways. So I'm not too concerned about it. See what I mean? God damn it. I'm just trying to zoom out and I fucking undid it. What was I saying? Anyway, so yeah, so I was looking at that the other day. I think I was getting some notification from because I think I made a Facebook page for this for my little Zazzle shop as well. And there's even still some of the crappy t-shirt designs I put on there. I'll have to show them how bad they are. But I put it on Facebook, and I think I got a notification from Facebook that was saying, hey, this page hasn't been active in a long time. We're going to take it down if you don't post on it or do something with it. And I was like, what is this? Oh yeah, that's right, I remember this. Let me see here. But anyway, so I was looking at it and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I should try to do one of those redraw challenges with this thing. I bet I could do 100 times better than this 5-minute thing, not even 5 minutes, that took me to create back in the day. So I'm going to try to do that, but there's a couple other projects, client projects I had. That's the thing. I know it's not just me. I know it's other people too. You know, there's always personal projects in whatever field you work in. You know, that you want to do it for you, or that you want to work on, stuff that you want to work on. But a lot of the time, it's not feasible, because if you're making a living out of it, you know, the clients come first, the customers come first. And like right now, I have 2 different projects from one client, a new client that I'm working on rebranding. Not so much a rebrand, but he just wants like a simple YouTube logo and banner, which is, you know, not too difficult. But it's not, the difficulty doesn't lie in what was I saying? Difficulty doesn't lie in I'm trying to think what I was trying to say here. It doesn't lie so much in, I mean, there is difficulty obviously in the illustration or the design aspect. There's always difficulty there, but the difficulty is always trying to please the customer. Wait a minute, what the fuck is this? That's always the hardest part, especially for me. It's just trying to, I always want to make sure that the customer's happy, the client's satisfied, because it's more than just, I'm going to come back and clean a lot of this shit up. It's more than just, it's more than, man, I keep losing my train of thought. It's more than just about the customer or the client recommending me to other people, or you know, talking about my work to other people and bringing in new clients. Yeah, that's a big thing too, which is awesome in itself. But for me, it's just I want to make sure I do a good job, because I don't want to, I don't know, I just, because I guess I don't want, I'm paranoid that you know, customer, a lot of the time, I keep saying customer, I should say client. A lot of the time I'm paranoid that a client doesn't tell me the truth. They're just like, oh yeah, I love it, okay, keep doing that, and then, you know, at the end of the project, they'll be like, okay, great, I love it, here's your, you know, money, you're paid, and which is great on my end. I mean, I'm getting paid for work that I did. But then they're like, you know, behind closed doors, secretly, they're like, I don't like this. This looks like crap. We're not going to use this. Let's move on to someone else. I'm almost secretly paranoid that's happening. So I always do my best on every project to just keep asking the client, hey, you know, give them regular status updates. Hey, do you like this? Do you not? What don't you like about it? You know, you want me to proceed with this? You want me to proceed with something else? I'm constantly asking them for their opinion on, you know, how's it going, because at the end of it, I want to make sure it's something they use. Not just something that I did for nothing. I mean, in the end, it's not for nothing because it's just more experience for me. And obviously I'm getting paid. But, you know, I don't want I guess I just don't want to do work and then it be crappy work that people are just not telling me it's crappy, and they're just like, yep, it's great, we love it, and then it just sits in a desk buried away in a basement for all of eternity. I want it to be work that people like, and god fucking damn it, and you know, I want it to be used. Like I said, yeah, it's cool that, you know, people will see it and I'll get return customers and return business, but it's also, I guess, not an ego thing, but you know, it's cool to be able to say, when someone uses your logo, yeah, I like that. You know, it's cool to be able to say, yeah, that's me, I did that for them, you know? It feels nice, I guess. What was that? Freaking Twitch dashboard. So, you know, that's what I want. That's what I strive for in each project. And each project is different, admittedly. But for me, they're all the same in the sense that my goal in each project is to make sure that the the client is happy with the work. And I should be using a different brush, but I'm being lazy and I don't want to switch it out. I should, but I'm not going to. And I should adjust this, I guess. The angle of this. Oh my god, why is this snapping? It doesn't need to snap. There's another thing that pisses me off about this app. In Sketchbook Pro, it doesn't snap. It doesn't snap. And at times, snapping is great when it snaps to something, whether it be a grid or an object. It makes things easier, but a lot of the time I turn that shit off, especially in Illustrator on the desktop, because it's just like, it causes so many issues when you're trying to do something precisely and it keeps trying to snap to something, and it's fucking irritating. It does have its uses though, but this is not fucking one of them. Right here in this situation, god damn it. Let's see right here. I guess I shouldn't be lazy. Let's see here. I am gonna be lazy in a minute, and I'll show you how. But it also helps because it's more than just being lazy. It helps to keep the shapes uniform. Okay. Let's get rid of that. See, and this is what I'm talking about. This is cool. The way, okay, why are you performing an area fill and on what? There we go. See, we can just close that. perform an area fill. Boom. That I love. I love that. I fucking love that. So let's see. And I apologize for the lack of music. There's a lot of things I'm still working on trying to get to work, and a lot of stuff gives me issues. It doesn't want to work, or sometimes it works, so I'll try to have that fixed by next time, especially by Friday, when I'm hoping to. I really want to live stream WoW, which I know everybody does, but I haven't played that game in. I've recently been playing it, but before that, I hadn't played it in like 4 years, I think. 4 years, whatever, because the last one I played, the last expansion, was Cataclysm. And I didn't even finish that. And I started playing WoW probably right when Burning Crusade started, like right at the beginning of that. And man, I remember just hours and hours of playing that game. It's just so time consuming, and I didn't. Eventually, I just didn't have time anymore. It's one of those games that. I mean, I guess any game could be considered a time waster. But I played it, and then, around Cataclysm, I didn't have time for it anymore. It wasn't a high priority. There's other stuff I needed to do. And even now, there's still, I don't have tons of time I'm not going to go on any raids anytime soon. God damn it, I was gonna make this a separate layer. I don't have, I only have very little, only on my off time, when I'm not working on client projects or, hanging out with my wife and kids. If I do have spare time, that's when I play it. But, it's not a top priority for me. So I'm not too worried about it if I don't have time to play it. Whereas back in the day, long time ago, it was because I didn't have anything else going on. I didn't. There was no top priority for me. I was just a kid. Let me get rid of this real quick. There we go. But it's not really a top priority for me anymore. But anyway, I want to. The whole point of this conversation was. Or this little dialogue was that I wanted to, in my free time, if I do have free time, when I'm not doing other stuff, hanging out with my wife and kids, or, working on client projects, I wanted to, my goal is, it's not really a goal. The idea is I want to do some mount farming, which I never really did back in the day. I always just tried to do end game stuff, back when I was serious about it. And I don't really want to do that anymore. I really like doing quests. I do, because I like the lore of the game. Which I'll probably do a couple quests here and there, but I really want to try to get, because I never did it back in the day, I really want to try to get some sweet mounts. And the last couple of days I've been working on just a couple of runs every day, so not something that's time consuming, because my character, like I said, the last time I played was Kata, and I left off with a character, my main was level 85, and, whoa, what's going on here? No, I don't care about this. No! Actually, I have run out of time, and I'll have to finish this off stream. And next time, I might stream again in the next couple days. After Friday for sure, I want to do a game. WoW, some mount farming. But, in the next couple days, I might do another creative session just to give you an update on this. So check it out. I know this was probably really boring. It was my second live stream, but hopefully, somebody liked it. See you later.